Hi guys, welcome to Reen's Place. Today I'm going to do the first part of a two-part video. This part is going to be how to make chicken broth. It's something that I like to make homemade. You can use it as a base for your soup. What I like to do is I like to can it and then have it on hand instead of buying store-bought chicken broth. So part two of my video will be a separate video, and it will be how to can chicken broth. Okay, so what I have going on here is about a 10-quart stock pot, and in it I have two of the bones from two chicken breasts that I took the breast meat off of it. I left a little bit on there just because I like the flavor, and I'm using the chicken off of this to make some chicken parmesan for tonight's dinner. But what I normally do is when I don't make stock every day, so what I do is when I'm about to make I buy these chicken breasts on the bones when they're on sale, and then I cut them off the bones and I save the bones for when I'm going to make stock. So that's in there now. Those were just, again, some bones from chicken breasts. So in there I have, that's probably about 4 or 5 bones from 4 or 5 chicken breasts. And then here I have a chicken that we roasted, and we didn't eat everything off of it, so I saved it, froze it in, just a freezer bag. That goes in. To this now, I'm going to add some vegetables. I keep mine really simple. I have about 3 carrots that I washed, and I cut them in half. They're going in. I have roughly, I don't know, 3 or 4 stalks of celery, again washed, cut in half. I normally do an onion or 2. I just did an onion in half, and I found in my refrigerator that I had cut one 2 nights ago, so I have half of that one, and I'm going to throw that in as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to season it with just some salt. And again, if you have a dietary restriction that you don't do salt or whatever, don't put it in. The last batch I canned, I didn't add salt to it. But I know that we like salt in ours, and it's going to be a big batch for me, so that's why it looks like kind of a lot of salt in it. And then I like to use some peppercorns, which I'm just about out of. But I would say probably a little small palmful. Yeah, I think that's going to end it for that one. That's it for the peppercorns. And that's just nice. Oh, you know what? I'm going to just throw them in. And why I like to do that rather than just ground black pepper is because when you strain everything out of here, the peppercorns will get strained out too. So you'll really have a nice clear stock. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with some hot tap water. It's a large pot, so it's taking a while to fill it up. But, bear with me. Okay, it's still filling up, so I'm going to stop it first. We're back. I moved it to the large burner, and I'm just going to be in the kitchen cleaning up here. So I have it on a medium-high temperature on the large burner. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it and leave a little crack in the pot so some steam can get out. And wait for it to come to a boil. When it does, I will lower the temperature to a medium-low heat, and I'm going to let it simmer. I'm going to say at least probably 3 or 4 hours. Some people do it for 24 hours. To me, that's just overkill. I don't think it gives it any more flavor, but whatever you do, however you do, that's fine. This is how I do. I'm going to, again, it's going to come to a boil. When it does, I will lower the heat from a medium-high to a medium-low. I'm going to let it go for, again, probably about 3 or 4 hours. And when it's done, I will come back, or maybe I'll even come back and show you when it starts boiling. I guess I mean, you've seen stock boil. I will come back when it's done. I'll tell you how many hours it cooked for, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to cool it. I'm going to strain it. I'm going to put it in the fridge overnight, and then I'm going to skim all the fat off of it. And then tomorrow we're going to rewarm. The broth once it's been defatted, and we're going to bring it back up to a boil, and we're going to can it up in a pressure canner. So I'll be back in a little bit, and I will show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, I just wanted to show you that it's been boiling. I think it's about a half an hour, maybe an hour. I don't remember what time I started, but I'll show you. Oh my God, if you could smell this, let me wipe the lens clean for you. It smells so good. And it's just boiling away there nicely, and I have it on a medium-low temperature. So I'm going to let it go for a couple hours, probably 3 more hours, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what it looks like then, and then after it cools we'll strain it and get it in the fridge. Alright, I'll see you then. Okay guys, it's been about 4 hours, and the broth is looking a nice golden yellow color. I don't know if you can see. And the bones are falling apart nicely. So what I've done now is I have turned the stove off, and I'm going to take it off the burner to cool. And when I'm ready to strain it and get it ready for the fridge, I'll come back and show you what I'm doing. Okay guys, I'm back. I finished boiling the broth. I showed you that. And then I let it cool to the best of my ability. As you can see, it's still steaming, but I started straining it already and forgot to videotape. But I left the last little bit here. So what I did was I took a large bowl. I have it's like a large stainless steel bowl. You can use whatever. I put a big strainer in it, and I just dumped the pot in. And so it's draining out all of the peppercorns, the used up vegetables, and the bones are already in the bag. And so what I do is I just get out as much juice as I can. I empty it into you know, a garbage bag. I have a little Walmart bag here that I'm using. Okay. And as you can see, it's a golden yellow broth. And what I'm going to do is, it's still really warm, but when it cools down, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to stick it in my fridge overnight, and tomorrow morning when I'm ready to can this, there's going to be a thick layer of fat, which I'm just going to pull off of it, throw the fat away, and then we're going to warm up the broth and get that canned up. So this is my chicken broth video part 1, and if you want to learn how to can the chicken broth tomorrow, then look up the chicken broth video part 2, how to can. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you give this a try. It's really delicious. Okay guys, we're back. It's been in the refrigerator for a day and a half, and I'm going to take the top off. And you can see the fat cap that is on the chicken broth. Now, if you were just going to eat this, like put it in a pot in your stove and warm it up and put stuff in it, it's fine if you have a little fat in it. But I want to can mine, so I'm going to remove as much fat as I can to make it as safe as possible. So all I do is I use like a Walmart bag or whatever I have. And just a large spoon, and it pretty much rolls back. So I don't know if you could see. I'm just skimming it off, putting it in the bag. I mean, it's pretty easy, as you can see. Once you refrigerate it, it gets cold, and it's like waxy. You can pull it right off. So all you have to do, again, just skim it all off, and when you're done, if you have enough bones and everything, I don't know if you could see, when the broth gets refrigerated and cold, it's like jello, and that is good. That's how you want it. That has you know, like the marrow from the bones that makes it so gelatinous. So that will give you a nice, rich, flavorful broth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue doing this. And I was going to make my canning video today as well, but I went down to my freezer and I found another container of already made chicken broth, and I want to see if I have any bones before I do any more. And what I'm going to do is make one big pot of broth, and then I'll can it all in one day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, again, it's gelatinous. You can put it in freezer bags or a freezer container, you know, however you want to do it. I'm going to skim this. I'll probably put it in some freezer containers. I'm going to freeze it, and then on my next video, which will be part 2, how to can chicken broth, I'm going to show you guys how to do it for yourselves. Okay, if you have any questions, sorry about that, that's the dog, obviously. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you as fast as I can. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and please hit that red subscribe button. Thanks, guys.